Top of the day, you dynamic people out there. How are you? Do you see the difference in that music? Do you see the difference in that? Look at the what does that say? You're tuned into Master Force with MuShemsu-t. That's where you are. I'm Asada. What's up? And I'm going to be interviewing our new host for the Female Solutions Thursday morning, MuShemsu-t today. Yay! And so before we get started, I am going to let you know, well, what is the female solution? What's up? Like some of y'all might not know. Let me just show you this video, get that in your mind, and then we'll go right into that good old interview. So take a look.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution.
And there you have it. The Female Solution is here to bring sisters to the table, to get the issues in front of you. What are we dealing with up in here in the world? Well, we're going to let the knuckleheads do what they do with the news, but then we're going to bring you news and issues that are relevant to our upliftment as people, period. And we have the whole globe present. But it is no question that sisters make the world go round. Let it be known. So without further ado, I want to bring to the stage a sister that I love tremendously. I love the way I even met her. I was like, what? We're going to talk about that. And she is out here doing the do in the world. Let me bring up none other than Sister MuShemsu-t. What's up, mama?
Hey, Asada. Hello. When you said how we met, I had to giggle.
You had to giggle.
I had to giggle.
We might as well just get it on out. So check it, y'all. Check out what we were doing. So I think we were in the cafe, right?
Yes, on 61st Street.
On 61st Street.
Yes.
Cafe, right?
Yes.
I was kind of still new to Chicago. And all of a sudden, these sisters come in. They all got afros. One is blonde, one is red, one is black, and I think maybe one is gray. And I'm like, yo, wait, what is this? Yes. And they come through with the afros in different colors. Yeah.
And I think you kind of scream. You say, oh, who is this?
I didn't even know them. I was like, wait a minute. Who are these women? Yes. And so that was just so vainglorious that happened. So all these years later, this is 10 years later, believe it or not.
Oh my goodness. And
isn't that something? Yes. It's actually, it might be a little bit more than 10 years. Yeah, a little bit more than 10 years actually. Later. Yeah, because 2024 made 10 years. Something like that. Yeah. But anyway, glad to have you. You are going to be our next host for the Female Solution.
What a divine appointment for me. I love it. But the sisters, this beautiful. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I'm blessed with having so many dynamic women in my life.
Yes.
That I can think of that can bring something. And so today we're going to be dealing with what you bring to the table with Master Force. This is not just a thing, y'all, because Master Force, I want y'all to say Master Force, right? But I want you to just tell a little bit about Master Force and what it is for real.
Wonderful. And that's a wonderful, amazing story for me. I actually tripped into Master Force. It seemed like I did in most things in my life, but I was looking for a way to support my son at that time. He was 10 years old, but there was a radio show, a GCI, whatever. And I was driving to work one morning in 1987. And I worked at Gateway Computers, but I lived in Schaumburg. And Gateway Computers was in Des Plaines. So I'm driving on the highway, and on the radio, it comes back and it says, by the year of 2000, more than 70% of all Black males will either be incarcerated, on drugs, on drugs, gay, right, or just really out of pocket, right? They used another word, but I was so distraught, Asada, that I pulled out the side of the road and I literally cried because I knew that this was a target. I had been studying how the brain worked for many years by now. So I knew that they were targeting our community or our Black men in particular. And when I got myself together and got to work, I literally wrote down 10 names of Black men around me because I started meditating. How can I affect? And then I looked at those 10 names and I could see what they were saying was true.
Mm.
They were
Mm.
somebody was doing too much alcohol. They were
Yeah.
in the street. They were gang bang. I was like, okay. So now I had to come up with a solution.
Yes.
And I started having meditation classes in my home on Wednesday nights. And I started doing them with my son, but I also invited his peers because peer pressure
Mm.
is a real thing.
Sure.
If
Sure.
it was your child, you better get the next door neighbor or whoever else he's hanging out with.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I used to have these young men in my house on Wednesday nights, and we would start off by listening to the things they were dealing with. Because in Schaumburg, you can kind of imagine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these, they came from all over, all of the communities in the northern suburbs. And that's how we actually got started. But I was working at Motorola, uh, um, and one day I came upstairs and I'm getting dressed and I can hear them downstairs going, that MF and that MF, every other word was MF. And I'm upstairs
Mm-hmm.
getting dressed. I said, So I go down and I said, listen, you all, can you find another acronym
Mm.
for MF?
Mm.
You are, I mean, it's just crazy. You know, you have to expand your vocabulary, do something, right? And that night, my son came in my room. He said, Ma, we found another acronym for MF. I said, oh, good. What is it? He said, Master Force. And listen,
Nice.
yes. And so I saw that as an opportunity to really tune into mastering our life force.
Yes.
What does that
Yes.
look like?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You
So
might
that's
make me start doing that. I
yes,
just said that word. That master
yes.
force. Yeah.
Mastering the life force. And when
Yeah.
I tell you that 15 years later, they came to me and said, you know, we want to teach our children what you taught us. You need to start a school. And my crazy self aside said, really? I said, well, what would I call it? And they look, Master Force. Like, duh. And so
Master
in
force.
2010, I launched the academy online. So
Nice. Nice. And so you guys, what? Oh, look, we already got a comment. My girl, what? Oh, Deborah. Moving around with Deborah. She's another sister that does a female solution on
oh,
our weekends. She says, Grand Rising and welcome our sister. Love.
thank you.
Thank you. Hey, Deborah, that's right. Welcome her in. And
Thank
so we are going to get into Master Force because it is a force to be reckoned with. Just so
Yeah,
you know.
thank you. Yeah.
Subtitle. Boop. But
Mhm.
anyway, I went on your website and you guys, so we got this energy, right? When you see this and you see that Master Force, you know what the deal is. But
Yeah.
you also have an academy,
Yes.
Master Force International Leadership Academy.
Mhm.
So, tell a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, one of the things that my spirit told me to do was to duplicate myself.
Mm, mm.
And I don't know about you, Asada. I don't know if when God give you a message, if you argue, but I don't
I
argue, but
don't. I
I,
don't.
I question a little bit, right? Really? How am I supposed to do that? What, so I say, okay, let me see what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So I had already spent a year writing out this curriculum after the young man came to me and said, build the school. So I said, well, I don't even remember what I was teaching, but I sat in meditation, downloaded, remembered.
Mm-hmm.
And girl, when I started putting that curriculum together, I was like, wow, this is really good stuff. And I went on Facebook and told a group of people, hey, I'm offering a complimentary course in life coaching. It's 16 weeks. You can join me. So 20 people signed up for it and 12 people actually finished. And that was in 2010. So
Wow.
that was the academy. But we have so many courses. So we do have the life course, we have the life coaching course, we have the Kundalini magic course, we have a parenting course. So yeah, we have courses for young people to teach them how the mind works. So we're very excited about being able to influence our youth
Mm-hmm.
because we want them to become self-actualized,
I love it.
self-actualized at a younger age.
Mm-hmm.
At a
Mm-hmm.
younger age, our
Yes.
children, telling our children they're grown at 18 is a lie.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey. Okay.
18 is an irresponsible age to be grown. You
Mm.
literally that, and we saw the blue, blueprint when Jesus said at 12, get out my father's house.
Hey.
You don't belong here. So
Mm.
at 12, you already have the ability to direct circumstance. As a matter of fact, you are responsible on a spiritual level at the age of 12 to take accountability for your rights and wrongs.
Wow. Say that. Say that. Uh,
Yes.
Girls, say that, because the intelligence of our
Yep.
young people,
Yep.
we take it for granted,
We
and
do.
we dumb them down from how we communicate with them
Oh,
and
what we
don't
hide with
communicate with
them,
them.
how we make them codependent,
Yeah,
how we don't hold them accountable. We baby
absolutely.
our children so much
Yeah,
that they do not have any idea of how powerful they are.
man, say
And that's
that.
by design, you
That
know.
by design, and we don't have to take it. That's the
We do
main
not have
thing.
to
We
take
don't we don't have to take it, and we can do different. I want to read to the audience what this says. Master Force Leadership Academy. We offer transformative online courses meticulously crafted to empower you in creating a life you truly love. Built upon over 3 decades of profound experience with the Master Force curriculum, our approach is deeply culturally sensitive and acutely attuned to the unique layers of spiritual ascension available to foundational Black Americans.
Yeah.
FBA, she got that FBA,
Mhm.
Foundational Black Americans. And that's no shade on nobody else, but you got to understand, y'all, we a different type of folk that came up through this
Oh, yeah.
American road. Me and another sister talked about that this week, and just who we're made up of and how we're made up. And I told her every revolutionary in our history, whether it was Kwame Nkrumah, Marcus Garvey, they had to come in touch with African Americans to really get that revolutionary
Yeah.
flow going. And so that foundational Black Americans, what you talking about right there? What does that mean?
Well, for me, I run into a lot of people who say, "Yeah, well, I have my ICF certification, and and oh yeah, that's wonderful." Now the challenge is that all of those certifications that other people do with you, I don't know if they've had to deal with the hidden things that racism actually bring into our life, right? There we can see the obvious stuff, right? But there are other things that cause us to discredit ourselves, to not believe in ourselves. We get overlooked so much that we literally stop trying. Don't
Mm,
go into a corporate role and try to be someone who's magnificent, because they're not going to see you, because who do they want representing their leadership? They want someone who looks like them. So you can get all of those certifications through them, but they're not going to let you use it in their leadership. When
mm.
we look at the fact that the whole DEI thing that they just did, which first of all, we don't need DEI people. That's like, here's a welfare check.
Yeah,
Just so you
sure.
know, that's a trick. It's a trick to make you believe that someone else has to help you.
Mm, 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 mm,
We
mm,
don't need help. We need to
mhm.
sit still and find out our true greatness. One of the principles that we teach is mirror greatness, where in order to mirror greatness, you have to know who you are, good,
Yes,
bad, and ugly. You have
yes,
to accept your flaws and not try to compete with somebody else, because everybody is uniquely, they're divinely made within themselves. You don't have to.
absolutely. Absolutely. To the core. Look at this. Another comment. My girl, oh, Naima's bring it on. And she said, we are a master force. That
Yes.
was a divinely inspired acronym. I love it. Hey, hey, let it be known.
Thank
Honey,
you.
that's right. Divine to the core. And you guys, if you're watching, you see at the bottom scrolling is a website, masterforceleadershipacademy.com. You can read all about it. You can understand who's involved. You can even choose a coach when you go to that website to
Mhm.
get a part of the Master Force curriculum. So you have so much in store with regards to what Master Force brings to the table and what the show will bring. I kind of want to go over a few things in terms of, because there's a mindset that embodies what you're doing. And I just want to show that real quick, you guys. Hold on. I want to show you that mindset because it's something that I said, oh, look at this. We're talking about responsibility. Let me go and let's get into this. It says, when someone expresses anger, it often masks a deeper hurt. If you react with fear and resistance, remember that you are choosing that response. Ultimately, how you feel and react is your responsibility. Talk about that because you're giving it to them. You letting the person know, like you said, what? Stop looking outside yourself or whatever, and take responsibility. Talk about this quote
Now,
that.
this is a very, I learned at a young age to really have the universe, have God check me, right? I didn't grow up with parents. So I knew that when something was happening, I had to look and see, I'm supposed to learn something. I'm supposed to learn something. And so one of the things that I actually did was I well, I was married early. Got married at 19. And my husband was someone who, he felt like he had to put me in my place. So he was physically I don't want to use that term because that's not, again, that was what something that he learned through his growing up. But he used physical restraints and altercation to try to put me in my place.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking, okay, my first thought was make him stop, stop doing that, and
Mm-hmm.
people want to call the police, tell somebody else. My spirit said, first of all, you're not a punching bag.
Now,
You don't have to tell someone else to stop. You have to get out of their way.
hmm,
So then I started, praying about it. And at that time that I started praying and meditating on it, and one of the things that people don't realize, when you pray about something, spirit is going to move you to take action.
please. Not.
Praying is not a sitting still thing. Spirit is going to give you an idea, a concept, a thought, but it's always move.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Come on,
something. It's
come
not
on.
sit still and wait for somebody to rescue you. Nobody's
Sure.
coming. Nobody's coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as I started praying about it, some students and one of the administrators from the college that I had went to came and knocked on my door, and they said, we want you to come and be the minority affairs advisor at Westmont College. And that's the college that I had attended, right? And that came out of no place, Asada. But that was the universe responding to me saying, okay, I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. And I went and started working that role. But can you see that if I would have responded in fear, people, when they respond in fear and they want to hurt the other person. They
Mm-hmm.
want to do something. Now you've actually created karma for
Mm-hmm.
yourself.
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I use that as character building.
Nice.
I use that, and that's what I use. People used to tell me, "Oh, you need to go and speak at women's shelter." I said, "Well, the thing about that is most people don't want to take responsibility.
Mm-mm-mm. Say
They
that
want,
part.
they don't want to. They want somebody. Again, they're looking to be rescued. They want somebody else
Mm-hmm.
to solve the problem. But
Mm-hmm.
if this is in my space, if it shows up in my space, I have to do something about it. It's a growth opportunity.
Nice. Nice. See, look, my girl moving around with the board. She said, wow, the power. All right. And then she also said, God says, I will fight your battles, honey.
Absolutely.
Let
And
look.
unfortunately, my husband was killed when I was 25. So,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow. Look at that. That now look at this. God is with me in everything that I do. I am safe, which is the segue to what you just said. And I
absolutely.
love just seeing these messages in your world and seeing that. Look, it's real basic, y'all. And I love this point. Look, God is with me in everything that I do. I am safe. So it's not this outside force you got to depend on. To me, it's just a presence.
It's a presence, and you
It's a presence.
cultivate it though. You cultivate it from
That's right.
within. And this
That's
is
right.
what my challenge was because I grew up in church, Asad. I grew
Yeah.
up. Matter of fact, I went to church more than anyone else in my family because my mother was put in a mental institution when I was 5 years old, and my grandmother had on she had on her dresser because that's where we had to go and live after she was hospitalized. My grandmother had a plaque that says prayer changes things. So I'm thinking, okay, God, you're going to heal my mother. That's all I could think. Heal my mother and bring my mother back. That's all I could think about. Well, that never happened. But
Mm,
what it did do, it created this relationship that every time something happened, I went to God. I didn't have a daddy to call. I didn't have a
gotcha.
mama to call. My family was that I was with was they were angry women, and I understand it.
Mm,
I
interesting.
understand it. I understand it. I used to think that they hated me, but what it was is I had something that challenged what they were doing. Like, come on, y'all,
Okay.
we don't need to stay in this. And
Okay.
yeah. So really, after that church, I started realizing church was not teaching us how to have a intimate relationship with God.
Okay.
Church was teaching us something else. And I'm questioning
Mm,
it at a very young age.
got you.
you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so when my family did come, my grandmother would come to church and my sister, everybody would come to church on Easter, Mother Day, and Christmas. As soon as they walk in there, they get the Holy Spirit. That music. And I'm sitting there trying to figure out why I don't get the Holy Spirit. I'm sitting there, please come down on me. Please.
Oh, right.
Never happened.
Right.
So about 13 or 14, I started selling drugs. I say, God must be rejecting me too.
Dag. See? Lord. Look at
God
that.
must be rejecting me too.
Man, look at that.
Yeah,
So many people out here questioning and we're not given the answers. One
that's
of the
right.
things I love about your space and what Master Force brings to the table is this mindset with things that you can just add to your arsenal of living.
Yes, right.
So I think we need to be beacons of that. We need to be vessels of things that people can use, not telling them what to do, just mindset, just putting some things out there. I like this piece that I found in your arsenal. It goes into the winter solstice. I know tons of people don't even know what winter solstice. What in the world? What is that? But I love this 10 things you can do oil pulling to detox your mouth. See, y'all don't know about that. Get that coconut oil, boop,
Yeah.
boop, it around, get those toxins out, sleep as much as you can. Drink your favorite teas, soak in the tub often, complete projects, write a book, wear white, solitude, silence, meditate. Where does this come from? How did you start getting the knowledge to talk about a winter solstice, bring these things to,
Um,
because if you did the selling drugs piece, you did church selling drugs, there's something that brought you out of that into
oh
this.
yeah. What brought me out of that? At 17, I was at a football game. I went to DuSable High School, you guys. Hey, DuSable, class of
Yeah.
1976.
Nice.
And I was at a football game, and I was on the top bleacher because I was going to help Luther run that. You know, you're going to get this touchdown. I'm running on the top bleacher with Luther. He's running through the goal. As soon as he made that touchdown, somebody hit him, and the top bench that I was running on, it cracked, and I fell to the ground.
No.
I ended up in the hospital for 3 months in traction at 17.
No.
2 ambulances showed up at Gately Stadium that day. 2.
What?
One for him, one for me.
Tag.
The thing is, they took him to Northwestern. They took me to Roseland Community Hospital.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah, right?
Wow.
I end up in there for 3 months.
No.
And when I tell you that I was willing myself to die,
wow.
I was done, Asada. I told
Wow.
God, you know, you didn't give me parents. I hate where I live. And now you're going to make me fall. This me. You're going to make me fall through the bleachers in my senior year of high school.
Hey, look at that.
Okay. So I just want to die. I just want to die. At night they come in, they give you your pills so you can sleep. I was saving them up so I can overdose.
Ooh.
I was saving them up, right? One of my teachers from the high school, Mr. Baker.
Okay.
I stayed in touch with him, Coach Baker. He wasn't even my teacher, but everybody at the school knew that I, had this accident.
Mm-hmm.
And he came on a Friday night and he brought me some reading materials.
Okay.
And one of the things he brought me was this book called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. And he said to me, I know this book may be too deep for you. However, if you read it, it may make a difference for you. Now, at 17, you're going to challenge me, dare me, something too deep. Soon as everybody left on that Friday night, I opened the table of contents and I only looked for the chapters on healing. There were 3 chapters on healing. And I read that and started applying everything that it said.
I love it.
By Monday, I set up. I said, where's my doctor? I'm ready to go home. Wow. The nurses and the staff, they said, where have you been? We thought you were in a coma. We kept trying to wake you up and you wouldn't wake up. And because in a hospital, if you've ever been in the hospital, every 2 hours, they coming in there poking on you.
I just left the hospital. I know, honey. I'm
let you sleep.
I understand. Yes.
You're supposed to rest? No.
Yes. Right.
But what it was that in the first chapter, it said that, the first thing that you have to do is that you have to forgive everything in your life. Everything.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, I can forgive everything. I'm forgiving. Then you have to forgive everybody in your life. Okay, I can forgive everybody. I can forgive my grandmother for not coming to see me while I'm in the hospital and believing that I was running from the police when that happened. And then it said you have to forgive God. Now, that was what my biggest challenge was, because I said, I love God. And then I realized, wait a minute, I've been blaming God. Oh, I've had a breakdown. I cried because I had been holding God. I didn't even realize I had that in my heart.
And that deep.
I didn't realize it. Deep. If you have any resentment, anger, you can't go to God for healing. You can't receive. You're blocked.
Come on.
You're blocked. So all these people out here thinking you're not talking to God. Okay, just so you know, if you are, you're not getting through, because God is that frequency that's open, and it's open in love. It's open in love, right?
Look at that.
Yes.
And look, Debbie Green says Grand Rising, love the topic. Girl, people love it.
So that's what got me out of that. When I tell you, the doctor said, I said, can I go home now? Because they came in and they said, this is Friday, and you can see that break. We like that clean break on your femur bone because it's nice, it's no ragged edges, it's smooth. And they said, then here is Monday. Here, I said, oh, that looks like angel hair. He said, that's calcium. It's woven itself around that cut, and now it's going to knit your bones back together. I say, oh, good, because I imagine snap, crackle, and pop knitting. That's right, because the visualization is key. This is why the television and all of these things we have our children watching, they're programming. What you visualize, it just shows up.
Ooh.
You think it's not dangerous? It is extremely dangerous.
Wow.
Okay.
Big time.
Yes. So I said, well, can I go home? And he said, well, we have to put you in a body cast. You have to be in that body cast for a year.
Wow.
But don't worry, every 8 weeks, we're going to change it for you,
Okay.
By the time 8 weeks came, they said, oh, we're going to just put you in a thigh cast. You okay. You use this crutches.
Bye. Go.
Right. Go. I still couldn't go back to school. And thank goodness for Miss Leggett, another teacher at the school. She had the school send me tutors to the hospitals, tutors to my house.
Nice.
She made sure, because again, this is my senior year. She fought for them to give me credit for gym. How you gonna give this girl an F and she's in the hospital?
Right. Girl, exactly.
But do you know that when I graduated on time with my class, no one in my family showed up?
What?
No one in my family showed up.
Say that. Hey.
So again, Miss Leggett said, and she said, come here, I got a gift for you. And she could see my eyes were so puffy because I had cried.
Yeah.
I was standing there with Dwayne and Mark Cheeks, and they were like, hey, we can ready to go. So I said, I'm going home.
I feel you.
I'm going home. I got on that State Street bus and went home.
Mm-hmm.
And she said to me, if we don't get you out of Chicago, you're going to die.
Wow. Wowie.
Yeah. Now, she had rescued me a few other times because I didn't even know that this one teacher at the school was grooming me, coming to pick me up at my house and taking pictures. Girl, she got that man out of that school.
Wow.
She said, he took pictures of you. Because I said, yeah, he took me to the zoo. And girl, that man was. So it was going on. All that was going on back then, too.
Man, see, y'all, there's so much that Master Force gonna bring you, baby. You are tuned into Master Force today. You've tuned into Rita's show. She done already got the show rolling. She don't need me, but we need to take a commercial break.
Yes.
Don't go anywhere because we got more grandeur coming. And man, there's a whole nother aspect of Master Force that's going to come to the table. So stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back after these messages. See you in a minute.
Hi, I'm Naima Latif. And if you're watching this, that means you're one of the 4.6 billion people from around the world who are using an electronic device to talk to people. In these times, people are using the internet to talk to everybody. Friends, neighbors, family members, co-workers. People are on their cell phones and computers all day long. Now, if you're in business, that is great news. That means you can sell your products and services all day long and never have to leave your home. All you need is a media connection, somebody to connect you to an audience. And that's why I'm talking to you today. We produce programs, and our audience members are people who shop. They buy clothes, food, beauty supplies, cleaning supplies, home repair, transportation services, child care services. Whatever you're selling, they need to buy it. We're your media connection. Just follow this link, and tomorrow you can sit back and relax at home while your business is making you money.
All right, we're back, and guess what? You see Asada, but this ain't my show. This ain't my show. You tuned in to Master Force, baby. Master Force. It's the show for today with my girl, MuShemsu-t. I'm going to bring her back on because, boy, she is just laying it out today and giving us so much of what Master Force already has. So we're so grateful that you're going to be bringing this energy to Thursday mornings here on the Female Solution. We've talked a little bit about your Master Force Academy, your mindset, but you actually have programming for young people too. Talk a little bit about ACEs. What's the vibe on this?
Wonderful. I love ACEs, and I love one of my sister queens, Ushaya. She's a master voice coach. She's one of the facilitators. She actually keeps me reminded that we're doing this program every summer, and she's looking at ways for us to produce it throughout the year as well. But ACEs stands for Academics Create Exceptional Students.
Nice.
It's a 6-week online program. And what we do is we teach our young people how the brain works. We teach them how to tap into their genius factor. Most of us don't realize that the education that our children receive is an inferior education. You know, if you could homeschool your kid, I'm telling you, because they're not learning what it is to be leader. They're learning what it is to be follower and to be programmed. So we teach them how to identify these programs and then how to counter it. So we actually stress a lot of information inside of the things I've talked about, such as the meditation, being able to balance your emotions. We spend a lot of time teaching breathing because that's the access to our spiritual acumen, right? So when the young people, by the time they get finished with that 6 weeks, they really are a little bit more self-actualized and sometimes a little bit more than their parents.
Yeah.
That's why we tell the parents, you want to do this work too and use your children as a catapult into deepening your own spiritual awareness.
I love that because we don't give them the credit they deserve.
That's
They were
right.
sent to teach us what to do,
Exactly.
in a whole nother
Right.
form.
Our little child is real.
That's right. I've brought to the stage my girl, Naima Latif. Look,
Wow.
when you get on
I'm
the
just
issue of the children and the power, I'm bringing her in.
wow. Yes, this is our whole thrust, our whole purpose is to transform this world by working through this next generation. And this
Yes.
is so powerful what you do. I'm just excited. And welcome to the Female Solution Global
Thank
Radio.
you. Oh, thank you.
No doubt.
You are a master force.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
That's right. And let me say to the audience, if you look at the bottom, there is a website for ACEs. If you feel like, oh man, I need to get my niece involved, my son involved, any young people in your life, that website is at the bottom. That's www.mfc-aces.com. Master Force Coaching. That's what that MFC stands for. And so that website, will leave that up for a tad. Talk about what you do for children and getting into parents. ACEs is one thing, but good God Almighty, you better tell them about this right here, baby.
Oh, yes.
Is the young ninja. What is that about?
I started this series when my youngest son, I was homeschooling my youngest son, and I wanted to teach him some things that was different from the academics, the math and science and reading and all of that. So I developed, and he was doing taekwondo at the time. So I developed this concept. I said, a ninja, when they go into the bathroom, if they use the bathroom and you don't clean up behind yourself, people can know what you're doing. So you don't want them to know that you've been here. So a ninja always makes sure that they keep their space so that no one ever saw them, right? And then I started including the meditation inside that. We have to sit quietly today for about 10 minutes before we start our work. So I started using those concepts with him. And then after a while, I started writing them down. And so this summer, my spirit said, where is the Young Ninja series? Now, I had written this series, excuse me, I had started writing this series 25 years ago, but I could not find an illustrator. Right? I was trying to find somebody to illustrate it. And here comes AI. Come on, AI. And I found a product that I could train a little bit, still working on training it, how to produce these images for my book. So this series came to life this summer. And it's the first book teaches about breathing. Breathing is a superpower. It's so important to teach our children to go into their breath. Because the first thing, when you go into your breath, somebody trying to throw you off your square, you go into your breath, you calm the nervous system, all of the energy that you need, the ideas that you need to operate in that moment, they come to life. Right? You put to rest that fight or flight. You put that to rest because you're calm. Right. And then you know how to act from that calmness. And so we teach the breathing. Breathing is the first thing that we teach in every single one of our courses in Master Force. That's how important breathing is. Wow. And we only touch on the basic level. There's so many levels to breathing that you can use breathing just to heal your body.
That's true. That's true. I use it to regulate my blood pressure, girl. Don't play with me.
All of that. That's right. The closer I get to 70, the better I feel about not having to take any medication. I walked 4 miles the other day. I'm like, why are you out here walking 4 miles? I didn't even realize that.
Love it.
Yep. So this whole series is inside of, meditation, affirmation, relax and trust. I mean, how many of us, I hear people say, I believe in God, but you don't trust God.
That's true. Don't trust, baby. All that worrying.
We're giving that test. The only way you move through, most people don't realize this, the only way you move through the next level is to be able to go through it, learn from it, and not complain about it.
Yes.
That's how you get to the next level.
Learning.
Absolutely.
Yes. You got to it's giving you the information. It's downloading. You're getting all the insights, but you're looking out here. Oh, this ain't working. It's in you.
It's in you.
Yes.
So check it, y'all. We got a little treat. We can see sort of the energy of the Ninja series. Let's take a quick look at that because I love it. I found that.
Mommy teaches the Young Ninja meditation. Rita Stewart. Mommy teaches the Young Ninja. In the quiet town of Serenityville, there lived a curious little boy named Ty. Ty was always full of energy and had a hard time sitting still. His mother, a wise and gentle woman, knew that Ty needed to learn how to calm his mind and body. So, one sunny morning, she decided to teach him the art of meditation. Ty, she said, I want to teach you a special secret that will help you feel calm and peaceful. Ty's eyes lit up with excitement. What is it, Mommy? He asked. It's called meditation, his mother replied. It's a way of sitting quietly and focusing on your breath. Ty was a bit skeptical. But I don't like to sit still, he said. His mother smiled. That's okay, she said. Meditation is not about sitting still. It's about being present in the moment. With that, she led Ty to the living room and spread out a soft blanket on the floor. She sat down cross-legged and invited Ty to join her. Close your eyes, she instructed. Ty closed his eyes and took a deep breath. Now listen to your breath, his mother said. Feel the air as it goes in and out of your body. Ty tried to focus on his breath, but his mind kept wandering. He thought about his toys, his friends, and his favorite TV show. His mother noticed his restlessness. "It's okay if your mind wanders," she said. "Just gently bring it back to your breath." Ty took another deep breath and tried to focus on the feeling of the air moving in and out of his body. He imagined the air as bubbles, bouncing inside of him, and as each one settled down, he became calm. As he continued to meditate, Ty began to feel a sense of peace and relaxation wash over him. His mind was no longer racing with thoughts. He was simply present in the moment, connected to his breath and his body. After a few minutes, his mother gently opened her eyes and looked at Ty. He was sitting quietly, his eyes closed, a peaceful smile on his face. "How do you feel?" she asked. Ty opened his eyes and smiled. "I feel calm," he said. "My mind is quiet." His mother was pleased. "That's wonderful," she said. Meditation is a powerful tool that can help you feel calm and centered, no matter what is happening around you. From that day on, Ty practiced meditation every day. He found that it helped him to focus better in school, to be more patient with his friends, and to fall asleep more easily at night. He also discovered that meditation was a great way to connect with his mother and to share a special bond with her. As Ty grew older, he continued to practice meditation. He learned that it was not just a tool for children, but a valuable skill that could help him navigate the challenges of life. He also shared his love of meditation with his own children, passing down the gift of mindfulness from one generation to the next.
Love
Wow.
it. Love it. Love it. So,
Stupendous.
the thing I told on MuShemsu-t that maybe I won't show the whole thing, but I just needed y'all to see him get older.
Yes.
And pass it on to his children. Like, I needed to see the whole process. So love this,
Yes.
particularly because my first book was Beating Black Kids, so it's about us and how we treat our children.
Yes.
But
Mhm.
parents, imagine a world where you just teach your children peace, where
Yes.
you teach your children quiet, where you teach your children how to breathe. Like, you're going to come out with a different child who has
Excellent.
a different skill set to contribute to the planet
Yes.
instead of creating harm and ridiculousness, right? And they end up going through school fearful, all these other things. And so, Rita, this is powerful. This is
Thank you.
really, and I'm so glad because I love what you're doing is across the spectrum
Yes.
in terms of age. So
Yes.
Mhm.
you have services that you can use for adults, but then there are obviously now these services that you can bring to children. And now, so talk about a little bit in terms of the guests that you'll have on the show and how they match this ideology. What are some of your ideas of the type of people that you'll be bringing on the show,
Yes,
Master?
and I've already been contacting. So since I started my certification program in 2010, I've certified over, well, me and Kiana. Kiana does certification for Master First as well. We've certified over 500 coaches worldwide.
Wow.
So, and each one of them are their own. They don't work for Master Force. You know, it's really practical skills. Build your own business, your own practice, whatever that is. And then, so you're going to hear from the coaches that specialize in different things. So we have coaches that are trainer, they're coaching for nutrition. We have relationship coaches. We also have coaches that help people build businesses. We have pastors. So there's coaches that help you move deeper into your spirituality. We have Dr. Tammy, who's, I believe, going to be one of our first coaches, our first guest. Dr. Tammy specializes in fitness and nutrition and other things. She's actually moving into being more of a spiritual guide. So I don't even think she refers to herself as a coach anymore. So you're going to have coaches from different walks of life, and they're going to speak to their journey, but they're also going to share about what they've seen in the world. I can't wait to talk to Dr. Tammy because she's been to Africa this year. So I'm sure she's bringing us a large dose of, the what we know about our indigenous nature, you know. So you're going to
Nice.
have a number of different insights from different people from all walks of life.
Okay, and I wanted to bring up before I didn't get to mention it when you all looked at that Mommy Teaches the Young Ninja series. There is a website. Just simply go to mommyteachesyoungninja.com and you can learn all about it. But I think what's even more important, I wanted to show this in terms of you have something for these parents. What is this right here? This is a Mommy Magic newsletter, right?
Yes, the Mommy Magic newsletter. I like to introduce my clientele to certain healing modalities. Bach flower remedy I found when my daughter was 7 years old. She just had her over 40 birthday, right? So we've been using this product for a long time. Bach is spelled BACH. And one of the things that we do in this newsletter is that we introduce these different concepts to parents, and then we show them in the newsletter how to use them. So we also talk about EFT, emotional freedom technique. We talk about aromatherapy, so we're giving them antidotes that they can use at home instead of always thinking, oh, there's something wrong with my child. Let me go to the emergency room. Let me rush over here. Let me do this. When a lot of times what there is to do is to steal the household, right? Get everything quiet so you can hear what information is coming through. Because when I tell you that God is always directing us to our highest good, and mostly what's getting in the way is our resistance. So in my magic newsletter, we support parents in understanding that there's another way to approach what's going on, the different dynamics that your children are growing through.
Okay, excellent, you guys. So good. If you to find this newsletter, where do they sign up? That's the
Yeah, they can click. Yeah, that's on my
ACES. That's on
yeah,
the ACES website.
it's on the ACES, and I'll put it on. I think it should be on my website too. I think my page, but I'll post it up there today so that they can see it.
Okay, not a problem. So you all see that. There's so much here to show, child. Look, talk about books. Talk a little bit about the coming of this book. This is something that was out 25 years ago, you said?
Yes, well, we published Patiently Waiting for Nothing, and I always have to shout out Manetti because Manetti made sure this book got out. She walked me, hey, what are we doing? All inside of the editing progress. Right. So one of the things that this book is, Patiently Waiting for Nothing, is the 25-year edition. I used to drop my daughter off at school, and when I was headed home, I always saw a garage that says, fully joyful, patiently waiting for nothing. And I knew what fully joyful, I knew that I was trying to get to fully joyful, but I didn't know what patiently waiting for nothing meant. So I started meditating on it, right? Meditating on it. And I wrote down some themes, like what's in my way, So I started listing these things that would get in my way of getting to joy. And then as I wrote them down, I started writing about them. I just did essays on each one of them. And then I went to my computer and started writing. And my daughter said, "Oh, you writing a book?" And I said, "Oh, that's a good idea." you know? So I started writing a book, right? And then I asked her to read it and edit it. She was, I think, a senior in high school at that time. And she edited and she said, "Well, Mommy, it would be better if you actually had people having a conversation about what you're saying here instead of just a lecture." And I said, "Oh, okay." So I had read Khalil Gibran's The Prophet when I was 8 years old. I loved The Prophet, right? So I said, oh, who in our community could be our hero? So our hero is the homeless woman, Miss Helen.
Wow. Okay.
So Miss Helen, you're introduced to Miss Helen, who walks downtown Chicago, pushing her cart. And she one day is sitting there feeding the pigeons, and here comes this young lady who's crying. She's dressed to the hilt. She has on jewelry dangling, beautiful woman, but she's so distraught. And she's looking at Miss Helen, who has nothing, and Miss Helen is just feeding the birds and talking to the birds, and so she looks. Bobby looks at Miss Helen and say, "How in the world can you be this joyful and you have nothing, and I have all of this and I'm miserable?"
Wow.
And she told her, she said, "Oh well, you know, we have time. I'll talk to you about it." And she said, and Bobby said, "Well, come over to my house for dinner." So they had dinner, and Miss Helen started talking to her.
Wow.
And the first thing she brought up was, you have to face your fear. So we go through each of these elements in this book, with fear being the first one. Yeah.
All right. Well, look, the time. Where does it go? Oh my God. We're looking at, we got like a minute or two, and I want you to just, there's so much I could share here. We got the Ignite Your Soul connection. You'll be dealing with this in your show as well, right?
Yes.
Soul connection. That's your connection to all of these different practitioners and healers. And so just give us in this last minute of the show something that we can take to know to be here next Thursday when you come back.
Yes. So one of the things that I'm going to start out with, Asada, is really dealing with mindset. Some of the curriculum that we teach in our life course, I will be bringing to this platform. And I just want to thank you women, you, my sister queens. This is really such a huge gift to me and my community to have this platform. When we were looking at the video, I teared up because this work is so meaningful to me. And I tend to be a little bit of an introvert. So I love when people like Asada and Naima say, "Hey, come on board." It gives me an opportunity to share. So you will find a lot of good stuff. And we'll start off with mindset next week.
Sounds good. You guys, I want to say, man, we did it. We did it again. Thank you, Naima, for giving us this platform on the Female Solution to have Master Force. We look forward to grandeur, spiritual grandeur every Thursday morning. Thank you, those of you who tuned in and commented. And hey, be ready next Thursday, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. But my girl's on the East Coast, she's in Detroit. So 8 a.m. Eastern Time, be ready to watch this show. And again, we thank you for being here today and bringing the glory.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you too, Naima. And you guys, we're going to
thank you for the reference of this beautiful queen. This is exciting. I can't wait for the first edition of Master Force.
That's right. Love you guys. See you next Thursday for Master Force. Peace.
Peace.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, Dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, Ngiyabonga. Senegal, Jaref. Kenya, Asante. Israel, Toda. Pakistan, Shukriya. Afghanistan, Tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, Shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you And may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.